That's my barbecue under that cover. And the plan here is to build a pitch roof hut here for the barbecue. It's a good spot. It's full sun. The purpose of the hut is to make it all weather barbecue. So it'll be quite cool to sit there in the rain barbecuing or sheltered from full sun, mostly from the rain though, right next to the grapefruit and a lemon over that side. As you come across here, we've got the outdoor table, so it's perfectly situated to take stuff from the barbecue to the table. And also over here, up the ramp, and there's a table under cover there. So it's a good idea to have the barbecue well out of the way, because it keeps flies away in summer, away from the house, and it can be standalone. So it's going to be built of 4x2 timbers and iron on the roof and partially corrugated iron on the sides. Been waiting for this project for a couple of years. The project will be finished when this decapsulator's EC is affixed to the barbecue shed. I presume that means take the cap off here, put it in that little container. I bought it 3 years ago exactly for this purpose. We're in the middle of winter now. That's 11 degrees C. Not too bad. Okay, this is the master plan for my barbecue house. It's a little house with a lean-to, barbecue inside and a lean-to out here. Please ignore the cat. So the posts, my wife pointed this out, that if I want to walk under here with a 2-meter clearance, then that has to be a 2.4 because it's going 400 into the ground. So it leaves 2 meter there. But this one's got to be higher, 2.4 plus 0.4, like this. So it needs to be 2.8. So the first step will be putting 4 2.8s in, 400 mil deep on the corners of the main hut here. And then 2 2.4s here. They'll be lower to allow for the little roof line. Here you go. Today I'm starting building the barbecue hut, which will be up and over the barbecue, obviously. Be a little pitch roof thing with an overhang. Been waiting to do that for about 2 years. A lovely day today. So it's appropriate I start. The first step is to assemble the wood, put it on the sawhorses, and some of it is standing up here. It's been there for quite a while actually. And the rest of the wood is on my wood storage area around the back of the garage. You can see there the 2.8 meter. Okay, here's the 4 posts, 2 2.4 meter and 4 2.8 meter. I've marked a line up to 500 where I'm going to put the preservative on. Preservative is this stuff, Metal X, and it's a copper preservative. I have great faith in it. Copper is an amazing preservative for timber. It's an antibacterial, microbial, anti-fungicide, the whole works. It works because it's in the form of copper naphthenate. If you use copper sulfate, it would just wash out in water because it's soluble in water. Copper naphthenate isn't. It's not soluble in water. So it's diluted with solvent, mineral terps, and it soaks right in. and it stays in, doesn't wash out. Now I'm going to lift these up on the end and put them in this little bucket of diluted Metal X, just to do the bottom ends, make sure heaps go in there, and then just paint up to the 500mm mark. Okay, the ends are all done, soaked in, and I'm just going to brush in up to the 500mm mark, which will be just above ground. So I've got to turn them over as I go, do all four sides. And it's all done on all four sides, and a concentration on the bottom. Happy with that. Now it's time to go and mark out the holes and dig them. And this is how I'm going to drill them, with this auger by Fiskars. It's called a Fiskars quick drill. I'd call it an auger. So on the bottom end it's got the screw for getting into the ground, then the two cutting bits and marks, which you can still see, up to 400mm there. So just 400mm into the ground. In our soil, this is a very easy job. Just turn it, keep turning it till I hit the 400mm mark. Great tool. Used it many times. So for the holes, the auger, tape measure, and some upside down paint, spray mark pink paint. So a bit of measuring to happen now. Want it nice and square and rectangular shaped. Okay, I've got them all marked out with pink spots. You really got to trust your measurements, because a stick diving off at an angle is very misleading. So it's 2.3 across that way. Where are my fingers? There it is. 2.3 across there and 2.2 down there. So my measurements are sort of about, my bits of wood are usually 2.4, so 2.2, 2.3 gives me a bit of room to work with on those. Away we go, drilling a hole. Onto the mark. That's 400. Time to stop. Okay, I may have overestimated the height needed. This one is to clear my head for a beam along here, so it's just about right. But then it would take off way up here. I need a slight angle on this, but I can cut them off. I'll just find the ideal height with a beam here. Maybe 100 mm down. And that'll be the fixed point. And then an angle up to that one, a slight angle only, and then cut that off. If I don't do that, my pitch roof will be massively high. So I've got 3 posts up into the ground. So I put soil in there, and using this heavy steel rammer, it's solid steel, it's really heavy, drive the soil around the base there. I haven't filled them up completely yet, it's just to hold them in place while I set their verticals. I set their verticals in 2 directions with that little level, and the horizontal also set it in place. So I started at this end, screwed that on, put a bit of a fall, this is for the little overhang, and then straight across with that one. These up bits will be cut off, as will a little bit here. Now for the other side. So I started here, ramming each post in, getting it level on 2 directions, up and down, vertical. A slight uplift here for the overhang, and I went around this way, doing the same thing, keeping it level all the while. But now I need to go from this post over to this post before I put this bit in here, because the straightness, levelness is important in this one, and that little bit will just match it up. So I'm just going to cut off, there's a tiny little overhang on there, I just cut that off. Whoops, it's cutting into here. Whoops, whoops. I used the clamp at one end. Just to rest it on while I'm screwing the other end. Clever. The level says it's level. Now I can fit in the piece over there. You're wondering what this gap is? All my bits of wood were 2.4 meters. So I'm just going to ignore that little gap. Now I'm going to cut the high bits off. good saw. Bit of a gap there. I'm going to try tightening it up with a strap. It worked pretty well. The centerpiece I just put in here will be the center of the pitch roof. So I'll just put a couple of pieces here, up here, maybe up to about here, and then the pitch roof will go down there. So I made big advances today. It's getting freezing now. It's 5 o'clock, midwinter. Fingers are getting chilly. But a good day. Everything in the trolley and out of here. Yeah, it's pretty good now. Just need to build the pitch of the roof. But I've done the bulk of it actually. Man, it's freezing now. Beautiful evening, but cold as. Because it's an open structure with just a roof with corrugated iron on it, that's why I say it's largely done. I might put a bit of windshielding on some sides, but we'll just see. Maybe some seats, something to drink beer while you're sitting down, maybe barbecuing. Just going to put some angle brackets in here to stop this main one across the middle, which will be the peak of the roof, from opening up. So I'm just going to screw those in there. Now it's time to pick the height of the pitch roof. If this is the line of the pitched roof, then that's what we've agreed to, which is a short piece, 250 millimeters long. So I'll need 4 of those, but I'll have to check the level. And there it is. That end's fixed, this end isn't. And look at that bubble, just about exactly right. Beyond good. Okay, I'm putting the rafters on now. Got 2 in here on the lower bit, and then I'll have to have 4 running from the top down to the side and then down to the other side. Through a gap there. Not sure what that's about. Maybe I can pull it up. Okay, it's getting late and getting cold again, but I've got the rafters on one side and the lean-to. I have to say it's not going too bad, considering I'm just doing everything by eye really. Using a tape of course, but no great laser levels or anything like that. Pretty good. Okay, I've almost finished the roof, but I can't feel my fingers anymore. So it's time to stop. Pretty pleased. I'm cutting roofing iron for the hut. Mostly using the heavy duty metal shears. But which I'm mostly doing, which is across the sheet. But if you go in this way, the corrugations don't allow the metal to bend up and it's almost impossible to use them. So I'm using this saw with a metal cutting blade. I cut this strip out. Tends to want to go all over the place, but it worked. Okay, I've almost got all the iron on. I only need one little bit over the back now. And it's looking good. I like that look. With the disheveled, distressed look of the top ones, it's good. It looks like it's at a funny angle here, and it's at a funny angle. I don't know what that's about. Something to do with my measuring. I think I took it too far to the left over here at the top. Anyway, it's waterproof. It's going pretty well. It's quite hard to get up over the back. Drilling and then tick screwing with a rubber gasket. This is the screw with a hex head and a rubber gasket. It's quite good. Drives in quite well. But I am having to drill through the metal first. Probably because I can't get a good angle to push on it. Nifty. One last little bit. And then the cap, which I'm just going to make out of a long bit of corrugated. Pleased. The roof is almost finished. I just need to screw down some parts of it. Okay, I've got the pitched roof bit screwed down and the ridge cap screwed down. Sort of all lines up quite neatly now. To get the middle bit I had to get up on the roof. That was a bit nerve-wracking because it's a bit wobbly. But I'm happy with that. It looks nice, it's nice and straight. Nice and straight along the top that way. And that line, the second line down, that's straight too. It's raining a bit, but it's good. Now I have to get a back for it and two sides. It needs those because driving rain comes in and gets it under the roof, and only a tiny bit in the middle is dry. All of the roofing metal iron was free as well too, including the capping piece. So that's what it's all about, making these sort of things. It's going to be fun. You don't want it to cost too much. Okay, putting corrugated iron along the back. There's no view here, so it's just going to be solid corrugated iron. All my tools, and I'm just putting them on with tick screws, and I'll use my reciprocating saw just to cut those off with a metal blade. It's going okay. And that's number 2 up. think one more will do it. And there's the back covered up. 3 sheets of corrugated iron screwed on from the back, which was a bit of a mission because of that big spiky bush behind it. Now all I have to do is cut off that end. There it is, the back's done. Watertight. It's looking good actually. Happy with that. Cut off those pieces using my reciprocating saw with a metal cutting blade. Good combo. The barbecue hut has now got a window on the side. I've got a number of second-hand windows here on the farm. It's not opening, it's just to provide a bit of light inside and to stop rain coming in, because I've realized that even though it's got a roof, rain drives in from every direction. This area here was massively soggy because we've had a lot of rain. It's almost like liquid mud under there. So this is I've got a roll here of weed mat, and I'm putting it under there, and then gravel. I've got quite a lot of gravel, so 5 or 6 loads in here to top off that. The weed mat will stop weeds obviously, and to stop the gravel sinking into the mud. This is how much water we've got. But today's a beautiful day. A beautiful day. Nice breeze, it'll be drying well. My barbecue hut is a nice spot, I have to say. It's very sunny, stuck in between a grapefruit and a lemon. And my wife's planting herbs over here, along here. Parsley, coriander, chives. So it's going to be a kitchen. What's happening?
Snowing. And tastes good.
And cold.
Look how thick it is.
Look at that. And while it's not quite finished yet, it's pretty much there. I'm very pleased. My wife had the brilliant idea of putting the barbecue on the side, so you haven't got your back pointing outwards and you can look through the window while you're cooking. I'm still going to put some windows on the other side and some more corrugated iron to cut the drafts. But it looks good. Got fully gravelled floor. And look at that bit of artwork on the back, which I found in Masterton. It's sort of semi-outdoor artwork actually. So it looks pretty fantastic. I'm very pleased. In fact, everybody who's seen it is pleased. Your tools. Really good. Pretty soon these gravels will dry out and they'll be good. Then we can have lunch on there or under the deck. Totally pleased. I really like it when a plan comes off. And this is a good one. Now it's hail, just to finish off the snow. You're gonna drink it.
Okay, Jordan, enough. Straight in front of the fire.
It's a nice shadow effect on the painting. It's Good. Okay, a small addition is an implement cupboard next to the picture. The paint sort of matches even. Look at that. Got some cups. These called egg things for barbecuing. Some wipes. Some all-purpose rub, mostly salt I think, and some oil, which doesn't fit in here upright, which is a bit annoying. The wipes are for wiping things. And what does that mean? It means I want to be able to clean up before and after without having stuff going back inside. So this hut is fully independent. These are the drills that I've used for drilling through the metal for screwing afterwards. Very good drills, haven't blunted, drilled hundreds of holes. You need a quality set of drills if you're going to be drilling through corrugated iron. And I put 2 windows horizontally there. These are old, very second-hand windows that I had. Gave them a wash, sort of, and screwed them in through the frame. Look at that. And they fit pretty well. Look at this. There's just a bit of a gap on the left, which I filled with a bit of corrugated iron. So the screws are just diagonally through the frame of the window. You got to be so careful that you don't hit glass when you're doing that. If you hit glass when you're screwing or drilling, it'll shatter instantly. I haven't done that so far. So I've got the end bit of metal there under the window, bit of corrugated iron, and a bit of corrugated iron here too, to stop the drafts underneath by the lemon tree. All looking very good. And also we've got a little added table. That was Jordan's idea, for drinks or chips. Okay, so I said this project would be finished when the decapsuler goes up on the wall, and now it's going up on the wall. Carlsberg. And so christening this is the best barbecue hut in the world, probably. Cheers. Stanley and Carlsberg sponsorship pending, maybe, probably not. And there it is, the best barbecue hut in the world, probably. Look at it in the sun, evening sun. A plan was hatched, and there it is. Fantastic. So this project is finished. I do have to add some solar lights. Got some coloured ball lights and some white lights for inside with solar charges, so we never have to come near it. And I might paint those window frames white to tidy them up a bit. And up in the roof space, I think I might have mentioned it, on that middle beam, the birds sit there and poop on top of the barbecue. Cannot have that. So there's a few little jobs, but we'll call that maintenance.